wonder why the trad wife thing is making a huge comeback? I was asking myself this after watching an hour's worth of S.J. William videos. I know, I feel like my brain is on Novocaine. And a thought came to me somewhere in that trad wife haze of these girls don't actually remember anybody living out this trad wife life because their mamas didn't do it. They're too young. I was born in 1974, and every single woman in my life, every neighbor, my mom, aunts, grandmas, everybody, they were all housewives. And let me tell you, it was not pretty. Yeah, we had all the fresh made bread, and we ran around in our backyards barefooted, drinking out of the sprinklers and all this stuff. But I was trying to think of one single family group that I knew of who was living that traditional family lifestyle that wasn't completely dysfunctional, verging on psychotic. My own childhood, terrible marriage. I was raised in abject poverty by two people who hated each other. My mom spent her entire life rinsing out non-disposable diapers, raising 5 kids, always in tears on the phone to her mom. My life is so hard. Yeah, it sucked. It was horrible. I have one grandma that it kind of worked out for, although I think that it kept her from reaching her full potential. But then the other grandma, she was abandoned when my dad was 4 years old by her crazy alcoholic husband, remarried somebody else who abused her son for his entire life until he finally dropped dead of a heart attack, leaving her in poverty until she died as an old woman. It did not work out for her at all. Then there was another grandma who wasn't like my grandma, but it was the cousin's other grandma, if you know what I mean. Well, that grandpa was a rich Ahwatukee Mormon priesthood leader attorney, and they lived in fancy houses and had all this stuff. It turned out that he was essaying all of the cousins and his own kids, and he eventually unalived himself, leaving her completely destitute until she finally found a second husband to take care of her later in life. He was a wackadoodle. She did not die happy. Not at all. I can say this definitively. Every single traditional family that I knew up close and personal had major problems. And I can say this definitively too. Now that I'm older and wiser and have a different group of friends, and they're not all Mormons or Christians or Southerners, almost every couple that I know that has the 50-50 thing going on, and they got married older, and they aren't over capacity with the number of children that they have, where the power dynamic is also very balanced, and they don't necessarily step into those traditional gendered roles. Guess what? They are happy, functioning humans. Shocker. Yeah, the trad wife thing might look appealing, but it wasn't even like that when it was happening. It was a disaster.